There are those who follow the crowd, and then there are those who walk alone, not because they want to, but because they were never meant to belong to this world in the first place. If you've ever felt like you see life through a different lens, if you've ever felt like your soul carries a weight no one else understands, this message is for you, because there are signs, sacred signs, etched into the lives of those who were chosen. And if even one of these signs matches your spirit, it's not a coincidence. It's confirmation. Let's begin. Sign number 1. You feel everything deeply. You've probably heard the words. You're too emotional. You care too much. Don't take it so personally. But how could you not? When someone walks into the room in pain, you feel it before they speak. When the energy in a space shifts, your heart picks it up before your mind does. You feel the joy in others like it's your own, and you feel their pain tenfold. Movies make you cry. Old songs unlock memories. A stranger's sadness can stay with you for hours, even days. You are an empath, not because it's trendy, but because it's true. And yes, it makes life heavier. You don't have the luxury of indifference. You can't just not care. But that depth of feeling is exactly what makes you sacred. You were chosen to feel, so you could heal, so you could notice what others ignore, so you could love with a depth most people can't even imagine. Your empathy is your compass. Your softness is your strength. And even when it hurts, you still choose to feel, because you know that's where the light lives. Sign number 2. You can't lie, even when you try. Have you ever tried to fake a smile in a room full of people, but your soul just wouldn't let you? Have you ever wanted to say what people wanted to hear, but instead, the truth slipped out before you could stop it? Lying, pretending, faking, it physically drains you. You feel dirty after a half-truth. You feel off after saying something you didn't mean. That's because your spirit was coated in truth. Deception doesn't sit well with you, even if it would save you from judgment or conflict. People might misunderstand you. They might call you too honest or blunt or unfiltered. But deep down they know you're one of the few people who actually mean what they say. You were chosen to be a vessel for truth, not just in words, but in energy. Your presence speaks even louder than your voice. People trust you because they can feel your integrity. Even when they don't like what you say, they know it comes from a place of authenticity. In a world full of filters, masks, and performances, you shine because you're real. And that, beloved, is unshakable power. Sign number 3, you don't fit in and you've stopped trying. Let's talk about that ache. The ache of always feeling a little bit out of place. Maybe you've been in a room full of people and still felt like the only one who didn't belong. Maybe you grew up questioning why you thought differently, why your dreams were louder, your questions deeper, your spirit more restless than everyone around you. You've probably mastered the art of observing, watching how people talk, laugh, connect, and wondering why it doesn't come as naturally to you. You've been called weird, too quiet, too intense, too spiritual, too deep, and for a while, you tried to adjust your volume, to shrink, to edit your truth to be digestible. But it never worked, because you were never made to blend in. You were made to illuminate. The chosen ones often feel like aliens in their own homes, schools, or communities, because their mission is not to fit the mold. It's to reshape it. Your isolation isn't punishment. It's preparation. God pulled you back so you could launch forward. Sign number 4. Injustice makes your blood boil, even if it doesn't affect you. Have you ever seen someone treated unfairly and something inside you snapped? Have you ever stood up for someone when no one else would, even when it cost you friends, even when it cost you peace? That's not just empathy, that's divine fury. Chosen ones have an internal justice system. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't bend. It doesn't stay quiet when wrong is happening. Whether it's a stranger being mistreated in public or a friend being talked down to, you can't stay silent. Your soul was created to defend. You've probably gotten into arguments, or even lost relationships because you stood up when it was easier to sit down. But that's what warriors do. That's what light carriers do. Even if no one says thank you, even if no one claps, you were chosen to protect innocence, to confront darkness, to make sure justice doesn't stay buried. The world needs your fire, even when it burns. Sign number 5. Life has hurt you deeply, but you never let it harden you. Let's be honest. You've been through things that could have destroyed you. Moments that broke your heart. Times you cried yourself to sleep. Periods where you wondered if you'd ever feel okay again. And yet, you didn't turn bitter. You didn't become cruel. You didn't pass on the pain you received. You chose the harder path, the higher path. You healed. You forgave. You grew. You still smile at strangers. Still believe in love. Still help people, even when no one helped you. That kind of resilience, you can't fake that. Chosen ones often go through trauma early, not because they deserved it, but because their strength would be needed later. Pain didn't make you cold. It made you compassionate. It made you patient. It made you divine. That soft heart of yours, it's your crown. Don't ever let this world take it from you. Sign number 6. Your relationship with God is real, personal, and unshakable. You don't need a crowd to pray. You don't need a microphone to speak to heaven. You don't need a stage to feel God. Because He's walked with you in the midnight hour. He's comforted you when no one else even knew you were breaking. And you've talked to Him, not just with folded hands, but with your tears, with your journal, with your silence. You've felt His presence in nature, in music, in the quiet moments between chaos. People don't always understand your faith because it's not based on rituals. It's based on relationship. You trust Him even when He says wait, even when the prayers aren't answered the way you want it. You've learned that sometimes delays are protection and that unanswered prayers are redirections. Your faith isn't perfect, but it's real. You don't just believe in God, you walk with Him. And that's what makes you chosen. Sign number 7. You give even when you have nothing to gain. You've helped people who forgot you, loved people who never thanked you, prayed for people who secretly betrayed you. And yet, you never stopped giving. Because giving isn't something you do. It's who you are. You don't keep score. You don't expect returns. You don't ask, what's in it for me? You just give. Your presence is healing. Your words are medicine. Your silence is safe. You are the safe place for broken people. And sometimes, that means you carry the weight of others quietly. But don't worry. The universe saw every seed you sowed, every tear you hid, every burden you carried without complaining. You were chosen to bless others. But make no mistake, your harvest is coming. So if you've ever wondered, why am I different? Why do I feel so much? Why do I walk alone? Now you know, you are the chosen one, not because of perfection, but because of purpose. The world needs your light. Comment, I am chosen, if this resonated with your soul.